All right, everyone. The New York Times came out today with an article where they're basically saying, screw white people. They're just afraid and stuff. So it's really interesting that the other day they also ran an article where they're like, oh, Trump used the term Pocohontas again. It's a racial slur. Native American, by the way, not actually being a race. I hope you do realize that. It's sort of just a geographical origin status. More than anything else. I think you mean Mesoamerican, perhaps, maybe more appropriate. There's a big difference between, by the way, a Mesoamerican genetically, some Apache tribe here versus someone in maybe central Argentina. But no, they're all Mesoamerican, and they're also native to the continent, despite the fact that there was migration involved that passes as native. Okay. Anyway. It was deemed a slur, the use of this term to describe Elizabeth Warren. Now, Trump has already said it before, and it's like, it's manufactured outrage. Do you really get offended at the fact that Trump would say this? Elizabeth Warren pretended to be Native American for political purposes. There's no record of her ever having proven that she has any Native ancestry, and she comes and says, well, this was just something that our family talked about, that we were part of, I think, Cherokee, if I remember correctly, or Apache or something. It's like, well, that doesn't mean that you're Native American, so Shiva is running against her. And he's actually of Indian origin. I mean, India, not Indian as in Native American. You get into some weird terminology, and that's one of his things in running. He's like, oh, only a real Indian can defeat a fake Indian. It's all very funny. But Elizabeth Warren lied to people for political reasons. Why is it that the Native American communities there are like, shame on Trump? Why not shame on Elizabeth Warren for trying to appropriate your culture for political gain? I would think you would have called her out, but most of you never did. It's like, and I say this, supposedly I have like 1/16 or something like Abenaki blood or something. So I'm more Native American than Elizabeth Warren, at least supposedly. Again, it's just something that our family talks about. I can't actually prove it. So like, if I were running for office, would I fucking put on a headdress and come out and say, well, you gotta vote for me because I'm the exotic candidate. Look, I'll make maple syrup by putting hot rocks in a tub of sap. And then I'll go to my teepee and it's just so stereotypical and just so stupid. It's like when people pretend to be outraged over the Redskins or something. Yes, it's so the Braves. It's horrible. It's terrible. It's insulting an entire culture. No, really, it's doing the opposite and saying, hey, we're using this symbolism because it evokes views of strength to us. Of nobility and strength, and we're gonna beat the enemy's ass because we're strong, we're braves or something. We're brave in the most literal sense, but no, that's racist or something. I don't know anymore. It's gotten to the point where the so-called progressives are just so fixated on race and ethnicity. It's like you're almost like eugenicists. You're obsessed with this issue. You write all sorts of books and shit, and you write blog posts all day about your thoughts on race. What else are you thinking of? There's no room in your head for anything else, so you can't be that intelligent. I think we know why you're a progressive at this point, or a garden variety liberal. They're even lower on that intelligence totem pole, perhaps. By the way, drinking water today because of the allergen count, it's kicking my ass. I got a headache and everything. Scratchy throat. It's like, you try making 4 videos, like 40 minutes of content in a day where the allergen count is this high, while you also happen to be an allergy sufferer. It's a little bit difficult, and of course, I don't take allergy meds, because I don't believe in that shit. Elizabeth Warren's nuts. She comes out, and she says off-the-wall shit. She's like, oh, raise taxes. Like Maxine Waters was doing this too. Oh, these tax cuts, we need to get rid of them because of a deficit. It's like, no, to never cut spending. It'd be beyond a Democrat to do that. In all honesty, it's beyond the Republicans too, so I'm not going to apply a double standard. They never cut spending. Trump is kind of trimming it here and there. He's doing more than any other Republican's done since Ronald Reagan. Reagan never cut spending. All he did was do a spending increase freeze for a couple years. We simply won't spend more than we're already spending. Let the private economy catch up. People thought it was going to be economic doomsday. Oh my goodness, less than a third of all productivity will go back into the government. It's be anarchy. We won't have a nation anymore. It's nuts. And it's like, yeah, back when the average tax rate was like 10% in the country, good times. Boom times of the 20s, taxes were a small fraction of what they are now. Did you know that? Now, most people think the opposite because they've seen cherry-picked little graphs of how the top tax rate supposedly through the 1960s was like 70%. Bullshit, nobody paid that tax rate. But that's what they think. The New York Times is full of crap. At this point, the New York Times is just competing with like CNN and BuzzFeed to be the most dishonest. They're sort of like when CNN comes out and declares that it's illegal to read a WikiLeaks release. That's sort of comparable to this sort of bullshit. Because they're saying, like, Elizabeth Warren, you can't criticize or you can't use this term even though it's a mocking term. He's not calling her Pocohontas because she's Native American. He's using that term because she is not Native American. She's completely she's a total WASP. She's a WASP, so it is acceptable to use that term. You're mocking the fact that she tried and failed to claim, again, Cherokee or Apache ancestry. You're saying, oh yeah, I'm like a quarter Native American. No, you're not. Your family cooks Cherokee food, and you think that makes you authentically Mesoamerican. Okay, well, I like cabbage. I don't say that I'm from Germany. I like a lot of Irish food, but I'm not Irish. I don't have any Irish ancestry, at least that I know of. I think there might be a little bit of Welsh in there somewhere. It's not the way that it works. Oh, I took part in this culture. Yeah, I'm from Siberia. I came and ate at McDonald's. I'm an American now. You know, Elizabeth Warren kind of believes in this too. She thinks anything that comes across the border immediately should become a citizen. Including MS-13 members, it seems. It's very, very funny, by the way, that it's racist to suggest having a border. It is not racist, however, to suggest that everyone who is an immigrant in this country comes from Mexico, like Elizabeth Warren seems to believe. It's all very patronizing, and really it's for votes and for money. It's cheap political fodder, and they're losing anyway on the issue. Increasingly, I'm telling you, even people on the left, I see it day by day. They're like, oh, the Democrats are kind of screwing the pooch. What are you talking about? Yeah, you can give amnesty to like kids and veterans and stuff, but you're talking about legalizing people who are like potentially axe murderers without even the benefit of checking to make sure they don't have a criminal history. I'm seeing that increasingly. I pay attention to the left-wing media. I pay attention to their posts and especially the comments on their posts. Increasingly, people are getting fed up, and these are Democrats. You know, mostly from the center-left sort of coalition, but that's a big chunk of the party. That's basically the people that gave Trump the Rust Belt. Elizabeth Warren still thinks that she's like, needs to run around doing war whoops, and it's like, that's so stupid. You're the bigot. Yeah, there's a better chance that I have some Abenaki in me than that Elizabeth Warren has even a drop of Mesoamerican blood. I can tell you that. She strikes me as the sort of person who actually acts like Hillary Clinton. Like, you go to the minority radio broadcast like Clinton did. Oh, yeah, I have hot sauce in my pocketbook. See, I'm one of you black people. I'm just like you. I'm hip. I can jive. You know, you want me to do the shuck and jive, do the sand shuffle or something. That's basically Hillary Clinton. That's the bigotry you see within U.S. politics. No, it's like someone on the alt-right, they're like, yeah, white this, white that. No, I don't want to take part in your culture. It's like, okay, that's cut and dry. At least you're being honest. The left, meanwhile, pretends, oh, yeah, I love your culture so much. Please vote for me. Please, yeah, bring your cousins here to vote for me, too. I love your culture so much. That's why I never would even think to hang out with people in your socioeconomic situation. I live in a penthouse among people of my own race, but yeah, I really love Mexico so much. I love Mesoamerican culture. I'm going to go live on a reservation. Yeah, bullshit. That's about all. Peace out.